So what is a brain coach? I often get that question. Well, it basically comes down to this. A brain coach is a coach who has integrated neuroscience principles into his coaching. It's that simple, really. Okay, but what does it mean, right? Those neuroscience principles, what are they and how do they help? Well, traditional coaches will rely on their own experiences and a specific process to help their clients, right? With brain coaching, we use a scientific foundation based on behavioral neuroscience as a guiding principle. Everything is science-based, really. You see, our brain evolved over millions of years. It became really good at surviving with limited resources and in hostile environments. It developed automated processes to be as efficient as possible and instincts to increase our chances to survive. But the world has changed dramatically since then. And those very same processes which helped us survive and become the dominant species on Earth, well, they are not adapted to our modern world and create many dysfunctions. And the worst part of it is that most of it is happening below the surface, on a non-conscious level. We are constantly sabotaging ourselves and we're not even aware of it. So that's where the brain coach steps in. By understanding how the brain works, he or she can step in and guide their clients to use their brain better. We're talking neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, neurochemicals, cognitive biases, belief systems, operational systems, projections, compensation mechanisms, and much more. Our brain coaches go through a rigorous learning process where they are taught to identify these non-conscious dysfunctions and are given a full set of tools and techniques to help their clients overcome the challenges they are facing. So if you too would like to integrate neuroscience principles in your coaching and gain a deeper scientific foundation for your work, scroll down this page and hit the button for more information. We'll be in touch very soon.
Sharpen your mind.
Now, the point of this is that the Neuralink is also known as the Tree of Life, Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is your whole Neuralink, the Tree of Life, that goes to the chakra, the gut feeling survival mode, your instincts. As he said, your instincts. Our primordial skills is to think instinctively, to feel. We have a radar system with our body cells, and we have a sacred secretion with the third eye to see the picture that tells you 1,000 words can lie to you. Dimensional thinking. Remote view with deja vu to predict the future and prevent what's going to happen. This is through your feelings, through codependent, intuitive, integrated relationship. It's intuitive, codependent power, EMP pulse. And those EMP pulses works through 27 fields, right? You have 32 senses. We live in 5 sense mentality in the mind. As he said, we are dead set dysfunctional because psychologically, consciously, we deceive ourselves. Consciously. The consciousness is not aware of the outside influence on our reality. And that's why we only use 7 to 10% of our brain on average, and only 1% can use 15%. But a mastermind can use 100% because it knows how to use Jacob's Ladder, the Tree of Life, the Neuralink, the gut feeling survival mode, the very preservation mode for life, the third eye, the picture that tells you 1,000 words that can lie to you, with an outside influence that changes all your reality, where you think outside the mind, with the universal language, with sevenfold wisdom and laws. And that's how you control your business from the outside in, and then you can use 100% of your brain. You see this with a drug called manna that Moses and Christ used from a plant called Maya, known as the Tree of Life. That you see that drug in the movie Limitless to be limitless. And you can see in the movie, he gets a massive clarification, thinks outside the mind, okay, and then he gets a vortex of information as you see in the movie, right? An outside influence. And he sits down and writes a book overnight that's brilliant. Goes to Wall Street to make millions of dollars. Think about using 100% of your brain because you can only use about 10% on average. And the highest IQ can only use 15%. Just imagine mental telepathy, ESP, remote view and telekinesis, levitation, spoon bending, clock winding, folding space and time with deja vu, to predict the future, prevent what's going to happen, multiple perceptions, multiple layers. The picture that tells you 1,000 words, and nothing can ever deceive you again. So you never suffer. No more pain, stress, fear, anxiety, confusion, frustration, delusion, or paranoia. No more living in a comfort zone. Freedom, the liberation is sensational. And it comes right down to neuroscience. Brain Academy. Learn how to use your brain with When I Breathe In program to recreate the sacred secretion, and the book Freedom by Jim McGill, the Holy Grail of Life. The Holy Breath of Life and the Holy Grail of Life. This is DNA. This is your biofields, your biological system. This is how you think instinctively and stick your head through the light in a tunnel, and where you find real freedom. The liberation is sensational. When you understand the capacity that you have to go from 10% of your brain to 100%, it's so far beyond the mind does not understand, because we're oppressed inside our consciousness, which is shown our middle process, and illusion, imagination, the mind, mentality. The consciousness is unaware of the outside influence on our reality, so therefore we don't know how to use the brain. When you think outside the mind, you go back in your primordial state, back in your innocence, back in your celestial primordial state, and control your business from the outside in. Then you control your biological fields. Then you control every single thing with the most powerful clarification and most powerful confirmation that you can do every single thing that Christ can and more, and be possible in that blind and DNA with genetic memory and your ancestry genetic tools. It's in your own DNA, the book of life.